friends, Paul here in the RoJoBe Music Workshop, and welcome to part 2 of my instrument collection. So in part 1 I showed you all of my ukuleles. Some of them you might be surprised that are ukuleles, but trust me, every single one I showed you was a ukulele. And I've got 9 of them, and I've also got 7 other instruments to the other side, which I'm going to show you now. So the first one I'm going to show you is one that I've had for about 20 years. So this is my banjo, full-size banjo. Got to get right back here to get it in shot. The brand is Tanglewood. It's an English make, I believe, and they're quite good quality. They're not, you know, the high end, but as I said, I bought this I think 20 years ago, and it was about £300 then, which then would have been about $500. So, you know, not high end, but good quality. Bloody heavy as well. I mean, there's a lot of iron work on there, and you know, it's got the resonator. Love the colour of the wood on that. The light's getting you know. Love the colour of the wood on that. And I love the banjo, but obviously these are very, very loud, and that was just a very light strum I did there. Really, really loud. But as I said, this one is good quality. I've had it for about 20 years. This will never leave me, ever. I will keep this. Like I said in the beginning of the first video, I'm not playing any of these instruments. That's not what these videos are about. It's just literally to show you my collection. So, as I said, I've had that banjo for about 20 years, absolutely adore the thing. I love banjos. I know not everybody does, but I do. And I like that one so much, I decided I was going to make one. Now, some of my regular viewers will have seen this already. So I made a banjo in the same kind of style. I mean, I actually used the headstock off of my original one to you know, to get the shape of the headstock for this one. I love that shape of the headstock, it's beautiful. So this one is all wood construction, wooden top, and I've got this beautiful thing on the back, which just kind of really sets it off. And although it's got banjo hooks on it, they're not actually doing anything. Normally they go into a tone ring at the top to pull the top down. Well, they're not actually doing anything. They're purely for aesthetics, just to, you know, make it look like a banjo, and also to add a little bit of weight, because there's no metal work down here. It is a little bit neck heavy, not too bad, but a bit. And you know, I made the neck out of a electric guitar neck blank. So you know, all of the frets were in it. The neck was already there. And the headstock was basically a big rectangle paddle, and you know, I cut out the shape of the headstock. I cut the instep for the 5th string tuner. You know, cut both sides of the neck all the way down and reshaped it. It's quite a lot of work. And again, this recently I had to do some work on it again, because I was beginning to notice that the plane from the body to the neck was too straight and the action was too high. So I had to remove the neck and insert a shim in there. You can probably see that shim in there. That's actually one part of it. It's a 2-part shim. So I've got that big piece in the top. I can't really show you. Can you see the shim just in there? So it's tapered, so it's thicker at the top than it is at the bottom, or front and back. And that was fairly easy to do, actually, because obviously it's curved. I couldn't just, you know, curve that piece of wood that I used for the shim, otherwise it would have just split. So what I did was I soaked it in water first, and then glued it in place and held it in place with the screws until the glue set. So I've got a nice little sort of material band around the top with old style looking brass studs. This again is out of tune, but so it's the same tuning as a standard banjo. Hold on, GDB, wait, good dogs get big dinners. GDGBD. I had to think on that. that tune a bit. It's the same tuning as a standard banjo, but with nylon strings, so it's much softer, and obviously the wooden top. So even giving it a good hard strum, it's loud enough, but it's not deafening like a standard banjo. I mean, I only lightly strum that other one, and you know, it's got some proper volume to it. I also made this bridge. I mean, it is made out of an ordinary banjo bridge, but you can see I've put a sort of a big foot on the bottom, and I've modified the top, cut it down, but also because of the way the fifth string is mounted here, I had to have this end of the bridge step up slightly from the rest to raise that fifth string so that it wasn't buzzing and so that it was level with the other strings. So that something that I made. It took me a few weeks to make this, and I've had to do a few modifications and tweaks since then, but I love this thing, love it. So that's my banjos. Now this next one is actually based on a traditional Thai instrument called a pin, P-H-I-N, pronounced pin. So some of you might have seen these before. It effectively is a Thai banjo, really. All wooden construction. I can't remember what the tuning is of these things because I've modified it. I've modified this basically into a dulcimer. So it's tuned D-A-D, but the high D, I've actually got double course there. You can probably see it on the body down there. There's two strings, so it's D-A-D with two high D strings. So it's open D tuning, D-A-D, which is basically a dulcimer. And I've done a little engraving on here as well. Actually, I did two, but that one doesn't show up too well. That's basically oh, you can see it now. It's a Thai emblem of some sort, and that's obviously a copy of the instrument itself. Did that with my laser engraver. So this is steel strung, so it has got some volume to it, despite the tiny sound holes. It's got some decent volume. So I completely redid the whole fretboard. I basically sanded it flat so that all of the fret slots disappeared, and then re-fretted it as a dulcimer. So yeah, another one I'm really, really proud of. Love that thing. Okay, next one is a completely handmade instrument. And this is basically a cigar box guitar. So this is tuned G-D-G, open G. Steel strung again. So just a sort of a wooden trinket box. I love the style of it though. I mean, I've added a few bits like this and this scorpion and this skull and these corner pieces. Actually these studs as well. We did have the studs on the sides already, and on the back, but I added some more on the top as well. And the fretboard again is kind of the same as a dulcimer. I'm not going to explain too much. Those who know it know what I'm talking about, but you can see it looks like there are frets missing. So it's what's known as a diatonic scale. So do, re, mi basically. Makes them much easier to play. And only 3 strings on that one. Okay, another handmade one now, very similar. And this one again is a dulcimer. You can see the dulcimer fretboard. Got this nice bit on the front. This is that's just basically hand painted, and that on the back I did with my router by hand. So this was long before I had my laser engravers, and it's kind of an octagon shape, and DAD, steel strung, again decent volume, nice little quirky fun instrument, really like this thing. Okay, so that is almost all of my instruments. The only other ones I'm going to show you now, I showed in a recent in my recent October shop update video. So there's this mandolin that I bought originally to convert to left-handed for myself, but you know, I've got this one as well, this sort of old bowl back style one, and I'm going to try and convert this one. I've also got to do a neck reset on this one, if you remember. Actually, in the previous video the light was bad, it's much better now. So you can probably see, he says, the neck is actually coming away from the body. So this is for a neck reset and left-hand conversion. If it goes to plan, then this one I will just put up for sale in my shop. But if this doesn't go to plan, I've got this as a backup. Because I did start to learn to play mandolin before, but what with one thing and another, I didn't complete anything, so I want to get back into that. So that is my instrument collection. 9 ukuleles of various styles, sizes and everything else, and 7 other instruments, again all very different from each other. That is my collection, and I'm rather proud of it. A lot of it is handmade, more than half of it actually is handmade, and I love every single one of my instruments, and I cannot say for certain that I will stop there. I hope so. I don't need any more. I didn't need any more when I had 4 or 5, but there you go. Okay, so that is the end of this video and this series, my instrument collection. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you like some of the instruments that you saw in my collection. And if you haven't already, please comment, like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification button. In the meantime, please look after yourselves, look after each other, and we will see you soon. Peace out.